1 year ago, I changed my life and my business has never been the same. I want to tell you what I did to make my business grow so successfully this year. Hi, my name is Laura Forsick. I'm the executive director of space consulting firm Astrolytical, helping businesses and government entities to grow in space. How did I make this big change in my business? I changed. I got fed up. A year ago, I was looking at yet another year of not meeting milestones, not meeting the goals that I set for myself and for my business, and I just got sick of it. I had a dream, and a dream that was only somewhat related to my business. It's more of a personal dream. And I was seeing it slip away from my fingers year after year after year, just endlessly deferred to the future. And this isn't even a dream of going to space, by the way. That is still my ultimate dream, but this is a different dream that is completely tangible, that I know I will make happen someday. And I was sick of waiting. I knew I needed to change something in my business and in my life in order to make this actually happen, because wishing and dreaming is not going to bring reality into existence. I needed to take action. The problem was that I had all of these built-in excuses. I had 4 young children. I had 2 demanding volunteer positions. There was always some house repair or something else that needed to take priority. And I knew that unless I really buckled down and focused on what was truly going to grow my business, that it just was never going to happen. I was never going to run out of excuses. There was no good time or right time to really focus on professional development and the growth of my business. So I put aside all of those excuses and actually got expert outside assistance, multiple different areas where I knew that I needed to grow as a professional and where my business needed to grow, where it was lacking. And I put in the work. Let me tell you, it was work. It was work over many months, iterating on each other. And it was a lot of mindset work too, because as a small business owner, sometimes you don't realize how your own limitations are in your head. And, comment below if you are a small business owner and you can relate to this, because I have a feeling that this is actually very common amongst entrepreneurs, where we can say we want highly successful businesses, but we limit ourselves based on our own mindset. It was a lot of mindset work, but it was also a lot of skill building, making sure I understood how to do things I'd never been properly trained on, and getting outside assistance so they could give me that third-party view on what needed to be tweaked, what needed to be changed, what needed to be added, and where things could be improved in my business. And it paid off. To my absolute shock and joy, it has paid off. As of this recording, I am 8 days postpartum with my 5th child. So I have a very tiny baby. I have every excuse, every valid excuse not to be working on my business right now. I've got all these other things that are a priority, absolutely a priority. However, I also have this strong drive to make sure that I not only keep that momentum that's been building since last fall, but I also build upon it. So I am actually working on other aspects of growing my business now. I had focused on one area. Now I'm going to focus on another. And I already see it paying off for the sake of my career, for the sake of my company, and for the sake of my family. I am determined to move forward with building my business to even greater heights for the rest of this year and for 2024 and beyond. Quite often, I see people putting off change because the status quo is comfortable. And they use justifications as to why they can't move forward. Excuses, really. And there are some legitimate justifications, I'll go over that. But the ones I hear most often, which are not usually actually legitimate excuses, are too busy with work. This is probably the number one excuse that I hear from people who are looking to transition their careers or grow their businesses, is that work is so busy right now. I really can't focus on this. And usually it's just an excuse. You are usually not working 80 hours a week. You usually have time that you can focus on other things that are not work related. And so what is it that you are doing instead of progressing yourself forward? If you hear yourself saying, I'm going to change something about my career or business, but after this deadline, after this proposal, after this season, after this whatever, chances are you're going to find something else that keeps you busy after that, whatever it is that you said. And so truly, is it really that you are going to get around to it after this other thing? Or are you just overwhelmed in the moment and you can't figure out a way out, and where you are is safe? And so you might as well get through this work and then get through the next work and the next work. And before you know it, a year has passed, 2 years have passed, 5 years have passed, and you haven't progressed forward. I'm speaking to you right now. The second most common excuse I hear, I am busy with my family. Yes, we often have families that take priority, and they should take priority, but don't let the time that you spend with your family be an excuse that holds you back from a satisfying career or growing your business. For people who want to level up their careers, especially in the leadership roles, I often hear, I will level up my career after this milestone. That milestone could be a promotion. It could be after I get these new team members on board. Whatever it happens to be, some little tick in their mind. And what it really means is they're feeling not worthy to focus on themselves at this time. They feel like they need to wait until they prove themselves to themselves in order to focus on themselves, when it should be the other way around. What you really need to do is give yourself permission to focus on you and your own professional development so that you can do these other things really well. These milestones, these getting a promotion or becoming a thought leader or building up your team. Now is when you need to be working on yourself so you can do those other things even better. This one I hear sometimes, I'm busy with obligations. That could be a volunteer gig. I have fallen into this trap so often where I dive into a volunteer project, a volunteer role, to the detriment of my professional development and my business. And so I know this one very, very well because I've used it on myself so many times. What you need to do is figure out whether or not this obligation is something that contributes to your life, either professional life or personal life. If it is something that contributes to your life, then absolutely go ahead and do it. If you're finding that you feel obligated and it doesn't truly give you joy, then maybe you need to step away from that. Maybe that's not something that you need to be spending your finite time and energy on. And this one, I see this one all the time from people who want to transition to space careers from other industries. They don't feel worthy. And so they say, yes, I want to transition after I have this credential, after I've learned more about this topic, after I've taken this course, or after I've gone through this study program. Whatever it happens to be, they don't feel worthy right now in themselves to be able to move forward. And I tell my coaching clients all the time that you do not need to go back to school in order to work in the space sector. Whatever field you are coming from, you have valuable experience, valuable credentials, valuable skills that the space sector needs. And very few people actually need to go back to school to learn something new or gain a new credential in order to work in space. If this is you, reach out to me because I can tell you exactly whether or not you are worthy of moving forward into a space career. And spoiler alert, you are. I did mention that there are legitimate reasons why now might not be a good time for you to move forward. Number one being your health, your physical and emotional health, or the physical and emotional health of a loved one. So if you are struggling right now with some kind of health issue, then you really do need to take care of yourself or your loved one before you focus on anything else. That really should be your top priority. Or life transitions, and that could be getting married, getting divorced, having a baby. I am 8 days postpartum right now. Totally understand how having a baby is completely overwhelming. Could be moving. These life transitions are temporary, but they are all encompassing. So give yourself that grace to know that you need a week, a month, 3 months to focus on whatever that life transition is, and then you can get back on track. I want to talk about 3 examples of people who have used different excuses and how that worked out for them. This woman approached me because she was looking to transition to a space career. She had very transferable skills and she always had an interest in space, but she used the excuse of her family. She told me she really needed to focus on her kids and her husband, and she was applying to things on the side and she really just didn't think that she needed help. Well, fast forward a few months and she was laid off from her job, and as of this recording, she hasn't found another one. So imagine if she had worked with me several months ago when we spoke, she'd already either have significant job leads for a job in the space sector, or she would already have a new space job. It was really to her detriment that she put off what she truly wanted because now she doesn't have the luxury of a full-time job to support her while she is in her job search. Example number 2 is a man who came to me who has been dissatisfied with his current role for a long time, for about a year. And unfortunately, he just hasn't been very motivated to apply for other jobs because it is a stable job. Yeah, he's not happy with it, but it is stable work. And so he has been applying here and there with jobs and not really getting anywhere. And he knows he's actually probably not going to get anywhere with the amount of jobs that he's applied to over time. He admitted to me that he knows that he's not going to really make progress with the pace of job search that he's been doing. He said it was equivalent to winning the lottery if he got a job offer at this point. And to this day, he is still in that stable job that he's not satisfied with. Example number 3 was a woman who came to me who had a legitimate excuse. She had to take care of her mental health before she was ready to move forward. And so she had been working a job that was not related to her degree, that was not space related, that was a family business. She really wanted to get back to Huntsville, Alabama, where she had an internship at Marshall Space Flight Center, and she loved it. So after taking care of her own mental health, she decided she was ready to move forward. And so we worked together. She was part of the Accelerate Your Space Career Group Coaching Program. And during that program, she landed herself a job at Marshall Space Flight Center. So she took care of her legitimate excuse. And when she knew that she could move forward, she did. She took action. And I'm really proud of her for getting the job that she wanted. Are you satisfied with the status quo? Or do you think that you are ready to take action to move forward? Contact me if you are an individual who is looking to level up your space career. I am the only space career coach that caters to successful professionals, and I want to help you to be successful in your space career. Or if you are a business leader and you are looking to grow your business in space, contact me because Astrolytical does just that. We really help businesses to grow in the space sector, whether you are already in space or whether you're looking to expand into space. So contact us to learn how you can grow your business in space.